It is a beautiful sunny afternoon here at the Red Bull Ring. We're in the Styrian Mountains in Austria, home of the Austrian Grand Prix, and also this weekend the home for round 2 of the Fanatec GT2 European Series. So for this latest generation of GT2 cars, we have got 4 different brands out now playing the game. KTM, the local brand from Austria. We have got Audi, Porsche, and now Mercedes, the MG GT2, the latest GT2 machinery to join the grid. We have a couple of those, a couple of the Porsches, and 4 Audis and 4 KTMs in the field. This is the second race of the weekend upcoming. The first was earlier this morning, held in beautiful sunny conditions again, and with high drama right at the very end. We had a safety car just 5 minutes from the end of the race. We went green for one final lap, and there were plenty of dramatic changes there. In our Pro-Am category, we had a big win for Mauro and Benjamin Ricci, and in the Am category, even more successful, Klaus Angerhofer, who was turned around in the very first corner of the race, went from last on lap 1 to first out of the final corner. He and Sadie Salmini claimed the Am victory, and they also claimed the prize for the top Iron drivers in the category. Iron, not a testament to their fortitude, although some of that involved as well, but the crew in any car, if they have a cumulative age in 3 figures, i.e. more than 100 years old, across the 2 of them, not individually, then they will be in the Iron Cup. So 2 Iron crews in Am, 2 in Pro-Am. There is no obligation to have an elderly driver in the car in any way, shape or form. The beautiful conditions here at the Red Bull Ring. This is part of the historic cup here in Austria, the Histo Cup Series, which has been running for a quarter of a century now, and welcoming the Fanatec GT2 European Series to their ranks. Season started 3 weeks ago in Monza, and this is the second Grand Prix circuit in a row. Pierre Caffer here will start on pole position in the number 18 Audi. 2 different qualifying sessions yesterday afternoon set the grids for race 1 and for race 2. The first qualifying session was driver 1 in each car. They are all bronze rated drivers, and they set the grid for race 1 and started the race in race 1. The second driver in each car, second name driver, qualified in the second qualifying session, and that time set the grid for race 2. So they also start with the position that they earn. So Pierre Caffer on pole position. That car finished in 4th place in race 1. This car was on the podium in 3rd, courtesy of a good second part of the race charge by the man who starts the car, Reinhard Köfler. Hubert Trunkenpolz is the other driver, and he will start the second stint. So there is Reinhard Köfler ready to go. The Austrian driver in the Austrian car, in the Austrian sunshine. Or not actually in the Austrian car, beside the Austrian car, in the Austrian sunshine. You get the drift. And identically liveried KTMs, a trio of them entered by True Racing here. So they are all orange and black. You can see 2 of them right there. There is another KTM that is not orange and black, and that is the RTR Projects car of Jan Krebeck. Now, he was on the grid for race 1, but the rear bodywork was up. The black car with a white stripe down the centre, you can just see under the bridge gantry in that shot. The bodywork is not up now. They had a problem with the wastegate on the turbo, it seems. So he did the first lap of the race, came into the pits, tried another lap after some electronic doohickery. That didn't work, so retired. So our Am points leader coming in here did not have a successful first race. Here is the new Acodis ASP Mercedes. Mauro Ricci, Benjamin Ricci, in that order in race 1, drove it. Mauro on the grid, and Benjamin finishing the race off. They start here in 4th place with victory under their belts in the Pro-Am class and outright in race 1. So a good result for them, a very good race. They capitalised on the safety car to hang on and claim victory in race 1. So Pierre Caffer, Reinhard Kofler, Benjamin Ricci there you can see in 4th. The other KTM on the left-hand side of the shot, just under the start lights. That is car number 15, finished 2nd in our first race. And that will be started by Slovakia's Stefan Rosina. So Rosina in the 2nd of the KTMs. This is the car of the reigning champion, Peter Gerlinks. PK Car Sport machine that won the title last year. He's been joined by Sinus Longin, who will start the 2nd race. Belgian driver in a pretty busy race where the car was in the top 4 most of the way through, then lost ground with a lunge on the last lap. 67, the car started in race 1 by Henry Hassid. He handed over to Anthony Beltoise. Beltoise starts in race 2. The Audi actually finished 8th in the end after a post-race penalty. And Anthony Beltoise will start that car in 6th position. On row 4 of the grid, Matteo Di Giusto, you can just see at the back of that shot in the predominantly white Audi, number 88 car. Starts in 7th place with Jan Krabek alongside him. Grid is being cleared. That's the word I was searching for. They've shown the 3-minute board. And very soon, the drivers will head off on their final formation lap. Just looking, you watch the screen, tell me if anything happens. I'll just look out of my window and check that the cars are on the back row are present and correct. They are all present and correct. So we have all of our entrants on the grid. And it's going to be hot work in these cars. Air temperature today definitely north of 25 degrees, which means the cockpit temperatures will be somewhere around 45, 50 degrees when the drivers are working hard, whether the engine is at the front, as in the Mercedes, or rear mid-mounted, as in the Audi, the KTM and the Porsche. Particularly the Mercedes with that big AMG motor out front. That generates an awful lot of heat, and the exhaust pipes run around the cabin. Just heat sink into the cabin is going to be exceptional. And there is the view forward up the hill into what is now the first corner here at the Red Bull Ring. Used to go over the brow and down the other side of the hill on the old Österreichring, a long form of this track when it was opened back in 1968. So engines are running, nobody has the door open, nobody is waving. We should be good to get everything underway behind our safety car. 1 formation lap, safety car will pull in, and then we should be good to go. As you can see from the clock on the gantry, it is a 50-minute race. It is a 2-driver race with a mandatory pit stop, and the pit window will be open from minute 20 of the race to minute 29 of the race. So 10-minute pit window, the mandatory stationary time no less than 121 seconds, and depending on the car and the results of the previous race, which in this case is race 1, there will be slightly longer pit stops for the top 3 in each of the 2 classes, Pro-Am and Am. Heading away then for the final formation lap, the only formation lap for race 2 of the Fanatec GT2 European Series here at the Red Bull Ring. In this stunning location in the Steiermark. You can see them wending their way through this long downhill uphill turn 2 and then climb up to turn 3, the right-hand hairpin. This is where they join the layout of the old Österreichring. You'd come in from the east loop through the Ost curve and speed back down through the forest, and then rejoin here, coming right to left as you look at it. Same direction of travel that they have now. And then swing on down towards turn 4. It's the final car on the grid. Lithuania's Mantas Janavicius. 3-place grid drop for Mantas. And the number 5 Porsche after contact in race 1 with the 88 Audi of Matteo Di Giusto. So we've got the Audi out front of Pierre Caffer, then a pair of KTM's Reinhard Koerfler ahead of Stefan Rosina. Koerfler with an all-black roof, Rosina with a black and orange roof. So that's how you'll be able to tell whether I've got it right or wrong when we get up to turn 1. You sort of imagine that our race leader, Pierre Caffer, in that red and black Audi will probably have orange and black in both mirrors. So the black roof, that is Reinhard Koerfler, and the orange and black roof, Stefan Rosina. Behind them, Benjamin Ricci, the blue and white Mercedes, then Stinus Longin in the yellow and black Audi, and Anthony Beltoise in the black and gold liveried Audi. So the rest of the field sweeping through. Medical car follows them. Now we did have a little contact at turn 1 on the opening lap of our first race. Let's see how we fare here for the second. Lights off on the safety car, ready to pull into the pit lane as they come down the hill between the Rindkurve and the Seal Curve, corners 9 and 10. There is the medical car following them through. So safety car pulls off. We are ready to go green here in Spielberg in Austria. The field being paced by Pierre Caffer in the Audi, Reinhard Koerfler alongside him, Stefan Rosina and race 1 winner Benjamin Ricci in the blue Mercedes are on row 2. Red lights are on. We are ready to go racing. We go green here in the Red Bull Ring. And a very good start from Pierre Caffer in the Audi on pole position. He's keeping it in the middle of the road. Reinhard Koerfler on his left-hand side with the black roof goes out wide. You always expect that to happen. Stefan Rosina keeps his nose clean. Koerfler comes back on alongside, but Rosina with the inside line. Now, can he stay in front from turn 2 up to turn 3? He's got the line for turn 3. Stefan Rosina looking to the inside. Pierre Caffer defending both mirrors, and he runs out wide, takes Koerfler with him, and Rosina has the lead. Stefan Rosina predicted what was going to happen pretty well. And then you've got Benjamin Ricci in the blue car and Stinus Longin in the yellow car, almost side by side. But it is the yellow and black, orange and black of Stinus Longin who leads the race. Oh, and Benjamin Ricci in the gravel as they sweep down through 4 and 5. Down into turn 6, our race leader is Stefan Rosina. So Rosina finished in 2nd place in race 1. And there is Matteo Di Giusto, the white, black and red. Right behind him is Jan Krabek, who drives on his own in the black and white KTM. And that car struggled with a turbo problem in the first race, only completed 2 part laps. Battle for 2nd place as they come on to the front straight. Out of the Seal Curve for the first time. It is Stefan Rosina who leads them across the line. 2nd place, it is still Pierre Caffer, but Caffer under pressure now from Reinhard Koerfler. The Austrian driver looking to try and go around the outsides, can't do it there. And he's got pressure from behind as well from Belgian driver Stinus Longin in the yellow and black Audi. So 2nd, 3rd and 4th all together, and that is going to help Stefan Rosina try and creep away here. Koerfler up the inside. And the KTM much better under brakes and through the early part of the turn. But now here comes Pierre Caffer. Now, will he have the speed on the straight? Not down into turn 4. Pierre Caffer can't find a way through there. Then the yellow and black of Stinus Longin, and behind him is Anthony Beltoise. Beltoise in 6th place, and that's where the black and gold Audi started on the grid. Right behind him, though, is Benjamin Ricci. Ricci pushing hard. These are all Pro-Am cars, and Matteo Di Giusto is next up, the white and blue, white, black and red Audi. And then the leader in Am is Jan Krabek in the black KTM with a white stripe down the centre. And Krebeck is leading in AM class. He's the points leader, or was the points leader coming in here. Still has the points lead, despite not scoring in race one. And a KTM 1-2, Reinhard Koerfler starting to creep away from Pierre Caffer in the Audi. And the Audi under pressure from the yellow and black Audi behind it. Steams Longchamp trying to find a way through. He is very close indeed up the back of Pierre Caffer. Let's see if he can find a way through. Behind him, Anthony Beltoise also under pressure. Beltoise had got by the Mercedes and stays in front of Benjamin Ricci. So Beltoise starting a row behind Ricci. Ricci was fourth on the grid, Beltoise sixth. Anthony Beltoise up to fifth and Ricci down to sixth place. Right now, fastest race lap for Stefan Rosina, 1 minute 31.698. So the KTM driver is starting to creep away. He's opened up another 2/10 on Reinhard Koerfler in second place. And then the battle royal behind. Pierre Caffer ahead of Stins Longchamp, the two Audis. And right behind them, Anthony Beltoise. So KTM 1-2, and then Audi 3-4-5 ahead of the Mercedes in sixth place. Black and white KTM in seventh spot. Now that's the white and black Audi, and then the black and white KTM is in eighth. So everybody safely through the first few laps, no dramas so far. So it's Pierre Caffer in third place, and Longchamp in fourth. Caffer now starting to stabilise the ship a little bit. So there's the Ebby Motors Porsche team running both the Porsches in this race. Ooh, looking up the inside. Here comes Benjamin Ricci. Didn't manage to squeeze by Anthony Beltoise. So Beltoise just hanging on to fifth spot. Fastest race lap last time round for the man in second place, Reinhard Koerfler, 31.2. So 7/10 quicker than the previous best lap of Stefan Rosina, but only claiming back just over 1/10 of a second on the race leader, because Rosina also went quicker, a 31.9 last lap, a 31.3 this lap, a 31.2 for the man in second, and the top five are all in the 1 minute 31s. Slightly off form 1:32 for Benjamin Ricci. That was him having a lunge there on the car of Anthony Beltoise on that last lap and not really getting the move he needed. So 1 minute 31s all round, all the way down through the Pro-Am class. Jan Krebeck a 1:32.59. And he is currently in eighth place, leading in the AM category in the black KTM with the white, broad white stripe down the centre of it. There he goes, just at the bottom of the shot. Interesting battle going on here. Pierre Caffer, purple sector 2 and sector 3 on the last lap. He's just set his best lap of the race, but is still 2 seconds off the lead. He is closing on Reinhard Koerfler a little, or he would have been had Koerfler not also just set an even quicker lap. Koerfler 1:31.10, race leader Stefan Rosina a 1:31.27 and a 1:31.17 for the third place man Pierre Caffer. So this is a real battle of equals in the queue behind Caffer. Longchamp, Beltoise, Ricci and Di Giusto losing nothing. Giusto just dropping away a fraction maybe from Benjamin Ricci. That gap's out now to over a second, 1.18 seconds. Settling down now on their tyres, just trying to build that speed. There you could see Jan Krebeck, Leonardo Gorini behind him. Mantas Janavicius is up from 12th to 10th place, ahead of Mario Placiuta and Sedi Sarmini. Sarminian True Racing number 16 crossbow. That car being turned around in the first corner of lap 1, claiming an class victory on the last corner or on the last lap of race 1. So Sedi Samini will be looking perhaps towards the pit stop window. In the first race we saw a number of teams coming straight in. That was the bronze rated drivers, most of whom have slightly higher rated teammates. Now it is the higher rated teammates predominantly who have started this second race, so it may be that they run longer towards the end of the pit stop window. What you cannot do is overshoot the pit stop window, because although the pit lane entry won't be closed, the pit window will be, which means that you will do your pit stop and then you have to come in for a drive-through penalty for doing it too late as well, so double jeopardy. Another new fastest race lap for Reinhard Koerfler, the only man in the 1 minute 30s, won 30.893 compared to the 31.16 of race leader Stefan Rosina. The gap is now down to a second. So we saw the board there, the car 15, P1 for Stefan Rosina, the race leader. Reinhard Koerfler in second, Pierre Caffer now sets the fastest race lap in third place. He's closing in on the Audi, on the KTM in front in his Audi, and has broken away from this group, 4th, 5th and 6th. Up the inside, Benjamin Ricci retakes 5th position, loses it on the exit. Great cutback from Anthony Beltoise. Saw the danger coming, could see the blue Mercedes coming up with a head of steam, allowed him to go through on the inside and then cut back underneath him. So Beltoise remains in 5th place. Stinus Longchamp in 4th position. That's the yellow and black machine. He is just creeping away a little. On 31.48 compared to 31.49 of Beltoise on the last lap. So not much between them. And Benjamin Ricci, Pro-Am winner in race 1 in that Mercedes, winning on its debut for the Akkodis ASP team in the Fanatec GT2 European Series. So great start to their campaign. Team new to this GT2 European Series, not new to SRO rules racing. They've been fabulously successful over several years now, predominantly with Mercedes AMG. But again, here comes Pierre Caffer. The Audi maybe having to run a little lower tyre pressure early on and not finding the grip right at the beginning, but he has now, hasn't he? Here he comes out of turn 3. Had a tiny little overlap there over Reinhard Koerfler. Don't forget, these two started on the front row of the grid, with Caffer in the black Audi on pole and Koerfler alongside him in second. Koerfler remains second. Stefan Rosina went from 3rd to 1st on lap 1. Pierre Caffer trying to find a way through and having a look on the inside as they sweep down the hill from 5 to 6. That'll be super brave, or have a lot of traction in hand there. Caffer did not have the grip he needed to get by the KTM. Then the 4th place battle, Longchamp, Beltoise and Ricci. Over the brow into the Rindt curve and down the hill into turn 10, the seal curve. Across the line once more, Stefan Rosina leads Reinhard Koerfler. And suddenly the times are dropping away. No 1 minute 30s any longer. Everybody has had the best out of their tyres. Looks like they are starting maybe to overheat them a fraction. So Vaughan Pirelli's being readied in the pit lane. Benjamin Ricci last time round did not set a personal best lap, but did set a new purple Sector 1, so best of the race in Sector 1 in the Mercedes. That carries you from the start-finish line almost all the way up to turn 3. Down here into the braking area for turn 4. Very easy to outbrake yourself there. Coming over the brow and running down the hill into 4. Road drops away. If you leave your braking just a fraction too late, you end up struggling to make the corner and running wide over the curbs on the exit or worse. The battle for third raging, Longier, Beltoise and Ricci. The two Audis ahead of the Mercedes. Leader across the line once more. 9 laps in now, Stefan Rosina. And he has nearly doubled the gap in the last 3 laps over Reinhard Koerfler. Koerfler defending still against the black Audi. And as Pierre Caffer climb the hill through 2 and up to turn 3. Steep uphill approach here into this right-handed hairpin. About 120, 130 degree corner, then exit there, climbing over the brow, sweeping down the hill to turn 4. Flat out blast into the braking area for turn 4. That corkscrews away underneath you as you drop down, never really straightens up through corner 5, and then into the braking zone for the left-handed corner 6. And here comes again on the curbs, Pierre Caffer carries a lot of speed down the hill there. The KTM, light on its feet, does likewise. Reinhard Koerfler hanging on in second place in the orange and black KTM. Stinus Longin in the yellow and black Audi in 4th, just creeping away further from Anthony Beltoise and Benjamin Ricci. Another 5 minutes, just under, until the pit window opens. And it is a 10-minute pit window. I suspect a number of these drivers will stay out towards the end of that window. So those are the race 1 tyres from the 911 Ebi Motors Porsche. Sure whether they will be used again. I think they're probably there in case of emergencies, punctures or massive flat spots, what have you. Stefan Rosina, the race leader, still the fastest man on track. Fastest lap of the race so far from the yellow and black number 1 Audi. Stinus Longin, 131.234. Some fresher tyres awaiting. A couple of the brands will be refueling. These cars making far shy of 700 horsepower. Drink a lot. It's a bank holiday weekend, but this is early drinking. So the Audi and the Mercedes have been topping up with fuel in the pit stops. There is time to do that. Beg your pardon, the Mercedes and the Porsche. The Audi does not, the KTM does not need to either. Little warning about track limits for our AM class leader, Jan Krabek. As Pierre Caffer in the Audi drops a fraction further off the tail of Reinhard Koerfler. First, second and third, still with good visual contact though, but Stefan Rosina, the race leader, doing enough to stay just out of harm's reach. Lost 3/10 to the pursuing second place Reinhard Koerfler on the last lap. However, still nearly 2 seconds clear. That will definitely help. So Rosina will eventually, in the fullness of time, hand it over to Nicolas Salens. yellow flags out at turn 3. Somebody has looped around. So we'll have to figure out who it is. Right, drivers. It's the third of our KTMs, so that's the number 17, it's Mercedes. So Mercedes with problems. That's the number 7 car of Mario Placuta then. So the yellow flags are back in, the Mercedes on its way once more. And he has not yet come through the end of sector 2, so there will be a distinct time loss. Battle for second continues to rage. Pierre Caffer right there with Reinhard Koerfler. Caffer in the number 18 Audi, Koerfler just in front in the number 17 Crossbow. Despite the fact that he's shown his nose a couple of times, half a dozen times, Pierre Caffer just can't quite find enough to get through. Over 20 seconds, 25 seconds lost on that lap by Mario Placuta. So the number 7 Mercedes looping into a spin at turn 3. Very easily done. Grab a little too much of the curb on the inside, or run out wide on the exit. He's not the first, and he will not be the last to make those errors. Stefan Rosina still leading, 12 laps in. And in 20 seconds, the pit lane will open. Again, expect most of these drivers probably to stay out a little longer. So Rosina, 1.7 seconds clear of Reinhard Koerfler. Koerfler just half a second ahead of Pierre Caffer, who runs out very wide. So that will nearly double that margin. More than that, actually. Mistake by Pierre Caffer under braking. Pierre Caffer struggling a little with that Audi. There's the number 1 car. Stiens Longin ahead of Anthony Beltoise and Benjamin Ricci. Ricci still sticking to his task and harassing Beltoise as much as he can. The blue Mercedes ever present in the Audi driver's mirrors. 61 car right there. 131.6 compared to 131.7 of the car in front, so closing down another fraction on the last lap. But being warned about exceeding track limits. Turn 1, turn 3, turn 9 and 10. Both track limit areas. Pit window is open, and into the pits has come the number 7 Haupt Racing Mercedes of Mario Placuta. So he will hand the car over to Jörg Fiebahn. So Fiebahn there in the doorway, helping his teammate out. Then the door needs to be closed. They're not fueling now, so the drivers making the necessary changes. Placuta helping strap in his teammate. Into the pit lane as well come our top 2 in AM. So Jan Krabek and Leonardo Guarini. Guarini in the Ebi Motors Porsche 911. There goes Krabek, and there goes Guarini. Mercedes Samari is in as well. In the number 16 True Racing KTM. True Racing with 3 crossbows to service. Taking the opportunity to bring Sadi Samani in early as they can. So pit window open for another 8.5 minutes. It's a little over 90 seconds to get round, 91, 92 seconds. See fuel going into the 911, so drivers out, door closed. There are the 2 drivers. And as soon as the fuel... Can't be getting into the car, can't be having the door open while they're fueling. So, driver change then as Leonardo Guarini brought the car in and Nicolas Gomard takes over. Gomard started the car in race 1. And they came in at the first opportunity in race 1. So he had a shorter race 1. And Guarini had a longer race 1. Guarini then doing a shorter stint in race 2. And number 7, Mercedes comes out in traffic. So between the leaders, so he came out between Stefan Rosina and Reinhard Köffler. Köffler went around the outside. Köffler coming towards the end of the opening stint in his car, so he is fully up to speed. There's Jörg Fiebahn on the outlap, just bedding himself in a fraction, not getting in the midst of that lead battle. Hopefully the team will have given him some indication of who was coming up behind. Driver change for 88 as well, and that is Matteo Di Giusto handing over to Stefan Rattel. Stefan, the SR in SRO, the Stefan Rattel organisation, which has been bringing races here to Spielberg for a quarter of a century. Enjoying a weekend off. He does not have the boss's hat on this weekend. He is just a racing driver and loving that as a result. Pierre Caffer goes round the number 7 Haupt Racing Mercedes of Jörg Fiebahn, just about. Fiebahn keeping the speed up. He doesn't want to lose any ground. And behind Caffer, you can see the number 1 Audi. Now, has that made its driver change? It's showing that it has got paddock gear links in it. Not sure that we saw it come in. And the timing screen does not show pit stops have been made. So, right now we have 7 cars on track that look like they have not stopped. Don't think the number 1 Audi PK Car Sport car, the young black car, don't think that has stopped. It's pretty much where it was before. Though the Mercedes has stopped and so is out of position. The yellow Audi was pulling away from Anthony Beltoise and Benjamin Ricci behind and closing in on Pierre Caffer, and seems to be doing the same. So leaders are staying out. Number 1 car, unfortunately, being slightly held up by the number 7 Mercedes. Going to have a look down the straight as he comes past us. They are not quite side by side. He does not have the overlap. Mercedes AMG picks up its skirts and shifts down the straight. It's got very long legs at top end. In the pits, Anthony Beltoise. So he comes in from 5th position. And again, outbraking himself, and the Mercedes going back through. The Audi, Stennis Longchamp, trying to get by Jörg Fiebahn. Fiebahn trying not to lose any time on track, because when the front runners do stop, he will hope to capitalise on that. So he needs to be lapping as fast as he possibly can. There's the battle for 2nd and 3rd. Stefan Rosina still leads in the first of the KTMs. Then Reinhard Köffler ahead with the black Audi of Pierre Caffer. Then the yellow and black car. Number 1 car, Stennis Longchamp. In comes Janavicius, Mantas Janavicius in the number 5 Porsche, being run by Ebby Motors. You can see the fuel churn going in. Not an awful lot of fuel here, but enough. And the bottle going on the front just allows the air out, allows it to fill a little quicker. Team looking at really get involved, particularly not while there's fuel going through. Team members looking down there. The driver change for the all-Lithuanian squad. Aurelius Rustica will take over. And the top 5 continue to circulate as they were, but with the number 7 Haupt Racing Mercedes of Jörg Wiebahn in between them. And again, here we go, yellow Audi trying to find a way by. And Wiebahn, who is 2 laps behind because of the pit stop, or at least 1 lap behind because of the pit stop, and the leaders is really not helping the number 1 Audi. See actually that Benjamin Ricci in the Mercedes is starting to close in on the number 1 car. So the Audi yet to stop, and the silver Mercedes, number 7 in front of it, has already stopped. There's the 3rd place car, Pierre Caffer. Well, what's that doing to the speed of the number 1 Audi? It's only doing 1 minute 33, so it's losing 2 seconds a lap to the leaders. You would think that it might be germane to bring the car in. Pit window remains open, but only for another minute. So in they come, Stefan Rosina, Reinhard Koerfler, Pierre Caffer. The number 1 Audi does come in as well, so that had not had a driver change. Was still Stinus Longin. Timing and scoring shows it as having had the change, but it hasn't. And Benjamin Ricci comes in as well. That will leave Henry Hassid in the number 67 Audi, run by LP Racing, as the lead car of those who had previously stopped. So Stefan Rosina coming in from the race lead. And Rosina will hand over the 67 car to not the 67 car, the 15 car to Nicolas Salens. 17, Reinhard Koerfler will hand it over to Hubert Trunkenpolz, and they were on the podium in race 1. And Pierre Caffer will hand over his car. That will be to Michael Doppelmayr. So the Ricci's won in Pro-Am ahead of Nicolas Salens and Stefan Rosina in race 1. Hubert Trunkenpolz and Reinhard Koerfler were 3rd. And then in the AM category, Klaus Angerhofer and Sedi Salmini. Salmini is in the car at the, no, he's not. He's handed over to Angerhofer, hasn't he? They're currently 3rd in AM. They won in AM in race 1 ahead of Nicolas Gomar and Leonardo Guarini. Jörg Wiebahn and Mario Placuta were in 3rd in the AM class. Wiebahn already at the wheel. Aurelius Rustica in the Ebby Motors car. There's the 61 Mercedes. And Benjamin Ricci handing over that car on the last possible lap to Mauro, his father. So the pit window is now firmly shut, but everybody stopped in time. So now then, this is interesting. The yellow Audi looks like it is up to 3rd place. So we've got 2 KTMs ahead of the yellow Audi. So that should be Nicolas Salens, who takes over from Stefan Rosina. And in 2nd place, Hubert Trunkenpolz, who took over from Reinhard Koerfler. But a change, it is not the Audi that had Pierre Caffer in it, the LP Racing Audi, who's in 3rd place. It's the one started by Stinus Longin, and Peter Gerlings is now at the wheel. Mantas Janavicius pairing notes with the Ebby Motors crew. The Lithuanian had a slightly damaging end to race 1 in a battle with the number 88 LP Racing Audi. He and Mattia Di Giusto came to blows, and neither of them in fact ended up finishing as high up the order as they would have hoped. So as everything starts to settle down, there is the True Racing KTM crossbow of Michael Doppelmayr now at the top of the pile. So it's Doppelmayr who led from Nicholas Salens and Peter Gerlings. And we have this battle on our hands. And this is Hubert Trunkenpolz. So the Audi that was started by Pierre Caffer, Michael Doppelmayr. At the wheel of that car is our race leader from Nicholas Salens. So we've got Audi KTM, and then Audi Mercedes. Our race leader is the number 18 LP Racing Audi. That is the black and red machine. That car started by Pierre Caffer, it was on pole position. That's car number 17, Hubert Trunkenpolz, currently being shown in 4th place. So there have been wholesale changes during the pit stops. The 18 Audi taking the lead from the number 15 KTM. There's the number 1 car, and that is currently in 3rd place, Peter Gerlings. Being shown as 3rd, and side by side across the line. Big battle, under braking, through goes the number 1 car, so Peter Gerlings moves up. He gets ahead of the number 18 car, Michael Doppelmayr. So actually timing and scoring a little late catching up. Nicholas Salens is away and gone by 3.8 seconds. And Peter Gerlings up into 2nd place. Hubert Trunkenpolz is closing in as well. So Michael Doppelmayr in that number 18 car. Currently in an overall podium position. Leader in AM is Jan Krabek. Now, he started the race in AM, but he is driving solo. You're at liberty to do that. You just don't have anybody to compare notes with or split the cost with. Jan Krabek driving solo as in Monza. So getting the full value for his entry fee out of the entire race. Number 17, Hubert Trunkenpolz in the KTM Crossbow, the orange and black car all over the back now of Michael Doppelmayr. Looking down the inside, ooh, that's brave. Down through the Rindt curve. Does he manage to squeeze through? Looks like he probably has. Nicholas Salens across the line. And Peter Gerlings in 2nd place. Up to 3rd is Hubert Trunkenpolz, and Michael Doppelmayr down to 4th spot. And he's got more pressure from behind as well in the form of Henry Hassid's LP Racing Audi. So the sister car looking to try and find a way past as well. Henry Hassid taking over the car that was run in the top 4 by Anthony Beltoise before the pit stops, goes through on the inside. Pounced immediately, Henry Hassid. Again, Hassid with plenty of racing experience. Jan Krabek now up to 7th overall, the AM class leader. So Jan Krabek in the black KTM Crossbow with the broad white stripe down the centre. There he is. And then the next car up will be the predominantly white Audi R8 of Stefan Rattel. He's in 8th. Nicolas Gomar in 9th in 911. And pressure on here. Henry Hassid in the black and gold. Hassid looking to try and find a way by. He's attacking hard here, isn't he? This is for 3rd place. It's the true racing car of Hubert Trunkenpolz. Hassid is all over the back of him. Here he comes. Pulls out of the slipstream. Now let's see who's got the longer legs. The Audi had the advantage out of turn 10, the seal curve, and up into turn 1. He moves up the order. So Trunkenpolz was shown as 39 thousandths in front at the line, but Hassid completes the overlap and moves up to 3rd in turn 1. So Nicolas Salins is 6.68 seconds clear of Peter Gerlinks, and behind him now Henry Hassid, and that is a further nearly 6 seconds back. So first to second is 6 seconds, 6.6, and second to third is about 6 seconds as well. Henry Hassid is about the 4th or 5th quickest car on track at the moment, but that did involve that pass. So he is moving up the order, up into 3rd spot. So lots of battles on track as the first part of this race is turned a little bit on its head. Here comes the 61 car, Mauro Ricci. Started race 1, he's finishing race 2 in the blue and white Mercedes. That car currently in 6th ahead of Jan Krabek. Krabek in his KTM Crossbow, the black car with the white stripes, but Mauro Ricci now starting to close in on Michael Doppelmayr. Not quite within touching distance. Just under 11 minutes remain on the clock here in Spielberg, Austria. Race 4, second race weekend of the Fanatec GT2 European Series, and another front-to-back performance in this race. Right now, Nicolas Salins looking comfortable out front. That car started by Stefan Rosina in 3rd place. Rosina taking advantage of a row 1 battle. Into the pits comes Nicolas Gomar. So, have been notified on screen of a penalty, but that looked like a drive through. Looks like he's gone straight back out. Aha. Now, they were looking down at the right rear corner of the car, weren't they? Not sure that they've done any work, though. That does look like a stop and go. So I wonder if they were too short on their pit stop time, if you know what I mean. There's a mandatory minimum that all the cars have to serve. They may have had a little more added on. They were 2nd in the AM class in race 1. It is possible that they did not add time to their mandatory minimum pit stop. We will wait and see. The car is currently shown on the information screen as being under investigation for pit entry. Pit lane is, or the pit window for driver changes is closed. The pit lane itself is not closed. We'll wait and see how that works out. Nicolas Salins now extending his advantage with every lap over Peter Gerlinks in 2nd place. So the KTM Crossbow now 7.25 seconds clear of Peter Gerlinks. Henry Hassid in 3rd in his Audi, 5.2 seconds back. He's having very little effect trying to close down the 2nd place machine. And then Mauro Ricci in the Mercedes in 4th place. Car that was on top of the pile. In terms of Mercedes' successes in the first race, he's in 4th, Hubert Trunkenpolz in 5th place, and Trunkenpolz 7 seconds ahead of Michael Doppelmayr. Trunkenpolz right with Mauro Ricci. Michael Doppelmayr in the number 18 machine in the top 6. And Jan Krabek still leading in AM with Klaus Angerhofer 2nd in AM and Jörg Viebahn up to 3rd place in AM in the number 7. So the number 16 True Racing KTM, Klaus Angerhofer driving that. They won in AM early on this morning in race 1. They're currently lying 2nd in AM, and Jörg Viebahn and Mario Pacuta were 3rd in AM in race 1, where they are now. The only difference in the AM class is that Jan Krabek has got a race under his belt. are 3 true racing KTMs. That's the car of Klaus Angerhofer. There is the race leader, number 15. That's the one with the orange and black roof. Nick Salans. And Peter Gerlings in second place. 911 Porsche, nearly a lap down now, and it will be caught very soon, I think. 6.5 minutes, yeah. I think Nicolas Salens probably will catch the Porsche. He's lapping 133.1, 134.6 on the last lap for Nicolas Gomard. Nicolas Salens. Gap's coming down to Peter Gerlings, with Henry Hassid in third place, also closing the gap a fraction. I think Salens is just reining himself in a fraction, keeping his nose clean, not exceeding track limits anywhere. Doesn't necessarily want to have to try and put a move in on the Porsche in front. Actually, if Nicolas Gomard in the Ebu Motors 911 keeps the speed he is doing, then Nicolas Salens won't have to worry about him. Uber Trumpet Pulse just being warned for final time. Black and white flag. That's your last warning about track limits. He will have to guess where he is exceeding, but he'll probably know pretty well. See as they come down the hill from 9 to 10. We keep at least one wheel on the correct side of the white line. Same with coming out of turn 10. Turn 1 as well. Don't run out wide off the curbs into all that runoff area, apart from the fact that it's dirty and slippery and won't do any favours. And up to turn 3 as well. Blue flags flying for Nicolas Gomard as Nicolas Salens closes in behind him. And Salens has picked up the pace a little. He's obviously seen that the gap was coming down. Still remains 7.5 seconds. I think, well, nobody's going to catch him in 4 minutes. Well, not on current pace, but if he has an issue, then you want as big a lead as you possibly can to somehow try and struggle through without losing the race. Blue flag still waving for Nicolas Gomard. It's not Formula 1, so he's not duty-bound to pull over, slow down and let the quicker car through. It is to alert him to the fact that there is a quicker car closing, and here comes Nicolas Salens. Goes a long way around the outside, so Gomard actually, I think, took it gently there as he came out of turn 7 down the hill. And the leader goes through. 3.5 minutes remain. Here is the second placed car. And there's the leader still. Second place car 7 seconds back. Peter Gerlings, Henry Hassid closing to within 5 seconds of Gerlings, but not enough to really threaten him. So we're starting to look now as though things are pretty well settled down in both our classes. Nicolas Salens safely past Nicolas Gomard in that Ebu Motors Porsche. And Peter Gerlings in the number 1 yellow and black Audi. Still nearly 8 seconds behind the KTM. So the race leader needs to keep it nice and clean. Just drive out the last couple of laps as he has driven all the others. Pretty clean, pretty comfortable. Peter Gerlings in second place, Henry Hassid in third, 3.9 seconds back. He's bringing it down all the time to Gerlings. I think time will be against him. Mauro Ricci fourth in the better of the 2 Mercedes. Then 2 further crossbows. Hubert Trunkenpolz in 5th and Jan Krabek in 6th, the AM class leader. and they're only 1.7 seconds apart. There might be a final lap sort out there. 2 minutes to go. Leaders will complete this lap and do one more. Yes, they will do one more. So leader across the line with 1:49 on the clock, and they're lapping in 1:32. So this one now plus one more. So my arithmetic was rubbish. Not for the first time or the last. Salens, Gelinks and Hasid across the line now. Marucci in 4th place. The Mercedes, and Hubert Trunkenpolz in 5th with Jan Krabek right behind him for 6th position. As they cross the line, they are coming up to turn 1, and Krabek has not got through, but he's having a look. He's trying to charge down through turn 2. Jan Krabek squeezing through, and he's made the move up to turn 3, I think. So Krabich has gone through for 5th position ahead of Hubert Trunkenpolz. So Jan Krabek, that's not a class change. There is Krabik. Come down to turn 4. Got ahead of Hubert Trunkenpolz up to turn 3. Really had a run on him out of turn 1 and was able to just ease by through 2 and up to 3. Battle between the two KTM crossbows. They look like totally different shaped cars because of the way that the paint livery treats them. Leader Nicolas Salans starts what will be his last lap with just a dozen seconds on the clock. There's the 2nd place car of Peter Goelitz. Number 1 machine in 2nd place, and 67, Henry Hasid, the Luxembourg race driver, in 3rd spot. Coming up behind the number 5 car of Aurelius Rustica now is the race leader, Nicolas Salans. Does not need to go by. The next car further back in the shot is 911. That's the Porsche of Nicola Gomar, which he has already lapped. So he does not need to take any risks here. This is the final lap. The orange and black KTM can't afford to get caught out by the back marker. Well, good for him. Aurelius Rustica left a big door wide open, and Nicolas Salens whipped through it. Always better to keep your pace up if you can, rather than slow down and let your mind wander. And Salens still pushing, 1:32.8 on the last lap, as quick as anybody out there, with the exception actually of Jörg Wiebahn, a 1:32.7 on the last lap. But the checkered flag awaits. Nicolas Salens comes out of the final corner to claim victory for True Racing in the KTM. So race 2 here in Spielberg falls to them. Peter Gerlings in the yellow and black Audi in 2nd place, and the 67 Audi of Henry Hasid in 3rd spot. That is Pro-Am 1, 2, 3. The Mercedes of Mauro Ricci in 4th, also in the Pro-Am class. And there comes your Am winner. That is the RTR Projects KTM crossbow of Jan Krabek, just ahead of Hubert Trunkenpolz on the final lap. Stefan Rattel comes across the line now in 7th place. And Michael Doppelmayr should be in 8th spot. And then Klaus Angerhofer. So Angerhofer and Sedi Sarmini first in Am in race 1. They are 2nd in Am in race 2. And Jörg Wiebahn should cross the line any second now, and does so in the number 7 Mercedes. So that car is 3rd in the Am class. So there you go, KTM victory outright for the number 15 car for True Racing, and a KTM victory as well in race 2 in the AM category for Jan Krabek in the RTR Projects car that did not finish race 1 because it had that technical issue. They had a problem with the pop-off valve on the turbo. And that concludes their races here in Spielberg in Austria. Next time out they will be at the former home of the French Grand Prix Dijon, a very different natured track to this one, still plenty of elevation changes, and if you need any reminder of what Dijon looks like, search out the legendary battle between Gilles Villeneuve and René Arnoux back in the late 1970s, 1980s, in fact, the turbo era in the French Grand Prix, and that will remind you exactly what the Dijon circuit looks like. But for now, congratulations to True Racing, PK Car Sport and LP Racing, the 1, 2, 3 in Pro-Am, and in the AM class, RTR Projects victorious from True Racing, and the Haupt Mercedes finishing in 3rd.
Adesso mi attrezzo sul cavalletto. Dati di highlights un attimo magari. Ah, ok. ho sentito. 2 categorie. Aspetta, no, non mandarmi ancora che sto cazzo di cavalletto. Ok. Scrive ancora quando c'è da rompere il cazzo. Vabbè.
Ladies and gentlemen, meine sehr geehrte Damen und Herren, let us welcome our top 3 crews from race 2 in the Pro-Am category. In third place, the number 67 LP Racing team, Henry Hassid and Anthony Beltoise. Congratulations, gentlemen. They are also our Iron Cup winners in the Pro-Am category. You'd never know to look at them. In second place, car number 1 from PK Car Sport, Peter Gerlings and Stinus Longen. Félicitations les deux. And our winners from True Racing, the number 15 team, Nicolas Salins and Stefan Rosina, with the full family. So to present our trophies, our representative from Pirelli today will be Georgie Chapman. So she will present to the third place team, Henry Hassid and Anthony Beltoise. Congratulations to you. And for second place, going to whip through these, Georgie, at a pace that will leave you in a blur. Peter Gerlings and Stinus Longen. And our race winners from True Racing, Nicolas Salins and Stefan Rosina. So another victory for KTM with the crossbow. And the anthem of our winning team, the Austrian national anthem. Congratulations, gentlemen. Yeah, good idea, kids. Run away fast. And you can take your champagne to reward the team with, or celebrate yourselves. Well, congratulations to all of our podium finishers in the Pro-Am category. Another race with lots of position changes from start to finish, and I'm guessing, judging by the look of them, it was pretty warm work out there as well. Congratulations. So, quick change behind the scenes and restocking off the bar with champagne. And we are ready to welcome our AM class top 3. So in third place for Halp Racing, Jörg Viban and Mario Plachuta. Now, Mario has had to run for the airport, a feeling I know too well, so Jörg is here on his own. In second place, True Racing's Klaus Angerhofer and Sadie Sarmini, who also claim for the second time today the Iron Cup win. So their second trip to the podium today. But our winner, after a disappointment in race 1 where he was unable to even complete one flying lap, is RTR Project's Jan Krabek. Congratulations. Important points for him in the AM Cup race. And in honor of the team, the winning anthem from the Czech Republic. Well, we would have the trophies very quickly. This is going to get quite messy quite fast. Barry, I'm really sorry. The trophies and the champagne mingling in a welter of overexcited racing drivers. What can you do? You can take the boy out of the car. You can't take the boy out of the driver. So congratulations to, again, everybody in the AM class competition. Let's bring the rest of the trophies out. We've also got the Iron Cup winners, and that was Klaus and Sadie. So there's going to be an awful lot of carry-on baggage for the True Racing team. And that concludes the action and the excitement for the Fanatec GT2 European Series here in the Steiermark. Next time out, we'll see you in Dijon.
Wir haben mittlerweile gestartet, also tut mir leid, wenn das da ein bisschen übereinander gegangen ist. Es muss ja verdammt schnell gehen. Sie wissen, die Lärmbestimmungen hier am Red Bull Ring werden ja mittlerweile auf Sekunden genau eingehalten. Von daher, also tut mir leid, wenn wir jetzt den Start in dem Sinn jetzt so nicht im Livestream hatten. Ich kann Ihnen nur erzählen, es ist jetzt in der Kurve 1 einmal alles gut gegangen. Das sehe ich auf den Trackenkameras. Feld fliegt hinauf Richtung Kurve 2. Und dort habe ich den Mario Huber nicht in Führung, da ist der Tobias Weberhofer momentan erster. Tobias Weberhofer, erster, Mario Huber zweiter. Das ist der Stand nach 3 Kurven, kann man sagen. Nach 3 Kurven, also Mario Huber auf Rang 2 hinter Tobias Weberhofer. Die zwei haben sich ja auch die erste Startreihe geteilt.